I was actually scratching a ticket. Can I walk out back?
Yeah.
I mean,
no, that's just I communicate with that.
It's not just ghosts. It's not just cryptozoology or aliens. It's all of it.
And what are we doing today, Matt?
Almost like Chewbacca. Like, you guys want to do a little beatbox live? Dun, dun, dun. I like that little beat. I always get so fired up with that opening. Got some crazy rock music going on. What's happening? Welcome to Banter with Richie B. I am on the P3 Get Haunted Network. Welcome all my Get Haunted brothers and sisters to the show. If you guys are looking for some great paranormal podcast, conversation, evidence reveal, live investigations, definitely check out that Get Haunted podcast program, man. Check that out. You got all kinds of cool podcasts, tons of experience too, so they know what they're talking about. It's pretty kick-ass, you know what I mean? I want to welcome everybody to the show, and I'm super pumped tonight because I got my old friends now. Now they're like old friends, like we've been around a long time, like we go way back or something, you know what I mean? The Burkes are back. Wojo was supposed to be here, but he had an assignment in an undisclosed location. No, I don't know. He had some old friends in town or something. But he was out on the investigation with us. And the week that I was supposed to go back, I think it was like the 6th or something, I ended up with COVID. Yay. And so obviously I couldn't go. And they held it down and did their thing and retrieved all the recorders. And Patty's been working her butt off, man, getting all these different, she has to remember, she has to go through all these, listen to them, make sure the timestamp's right. And then we got a number system, and it's a lot of work, man, a lot of work. These recorders hold a lot of evidence. So we got some pretty cool stuff that I am super stoked to go over with you guys. I am going to bring up some pictures. Did I say hi to Andrew? I did, right? Hi, Andrew. In case I didn't, I can always say hi to you twice, 3 times. There's 4. I like even numbers. So I'm going to bring up some pictures and stuff and kind of remind you of what the hut site looks like, what we've kind of stumbled upon through our research. And it's pretty exciting stuff, man. I put this information out to people who've been doing this a lot longer than I have, and who are, some of them are, survivalists, outdoorsmen. They don't have an explanation for this type of setup. They have no explanation for this. So it's really, really cool and very, very exciting. I'm super excited to share it with you guys. We have a bunch of different, like I said, different sounds, different times of day and overnight even. And you have to remember the area that I'm talking about is a remote area, We have plans to go back out there on the 20th, but it is weather permitting. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. It's not a location where everybody just hangs out, One thing I noticed this time that, there's a lot of, let's say, sky noise. Yeah, we'll call it sky noise. It could be planes or whatever. I don't know, but you can still hear all the stuff going on. But I'm going to share a lot of it with you. My producer Bobby Lee, right now as we speak, is working hard, putting together stuff still, because I might have sent stuff in a little bit late, like I usually did in school and stuff. But yeah, so that's different. But anyways, back to you. Anyways, all my fault, always is. But she's working hard to make up for my shortcomings, as they say. You know what I mean? So, and then I have a surprise guest coming on. Don't tell the Burkes tonight, to help us kind of break this stuff down. Someone with a lot of experience at what we do. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm very excited to have him. And you guys will be excited too. I know you will. So I'm not worried about that. So just get you a little up to date on things. So the hut site, like I said, we went out with the Burkes a while back. They have a technique where they use their recordings and things like that. We had them on the show, and they had some pretty compelling evidence, a pretty compelling technique that I really wanted to hear more about and see more. And they were gracious enough to show me where they go. And I fell in love with the place. And I asked them if I could bring along, as I say, a fan, who's a friend of mine. I've known him for like 25 years. But anyways, he was watching the show and very interested and very interactive and asking questions and things like that and throwing out theories or whatever else he could do. And we invited him along with us, Wojo. So he came along. We went up and met him the first time at Wally's house, and they brought us out to the location, and it was just awesome just to get out there and just walk around. We were just like kids all of a sudden. It was just like, hey, well, look at this. Yeah, it was very, very exciting, and I feel quite in my element. And I always say this to you guys: if you want to, do things like go, just geocache and things like that, you get outside, man. Get out in the woods. Winter time's here. Throwing some boots, throwing some gear. Always prepare for survival. Always. I always have my trail mix, my granola bars, my source of fire, things like that. So just, think ahead, you know what I mean? Just in case, don't be like, oh, I'm just going out for a few hours, because you just never know what's going to happen out there. That's all I'm not a survivalist. I can't give you professional advice. I'm just telling you what I do. Make sure you have your headlamps, flashlights, extra batteries, things like that. Forms of communication, whatever, whatever you got to do. So we went out and about, and the place was very, very, very interesting, intriguing, and revealed a lot of things to us. And obviously this particular site, and we went along the old, one of the things they spoke about when they were first on was all these little breaks, and they kind of followed these breaks up, and they found what looked like a dwelling of sorts, and we use that same type of method, and lo and behold, here we are, talking about this crazy place, that's going to become we plan on doing research on this place for quite some time, and we'll talk with them when they come on too, because this is something that you got to peel back the layers. It's not something that you just go in there and bushwhack with a machete and say, I know he's here somewhere, where are you? It just doesn't work like that, man. So I want to take the scientific approach and kind of break it down little by little, and just take it a bit at a time, you know what I mean? So, and be smart about this, and I'll share as much as I can with you guys as time goes on. So always make sure you watch for updates and things like that. You watch for updates on the show. This is definitely something that's going to be revisited time and time again. So so we went about doing that. And then we made the decision to drop more recorders in that particular area, not necessarily right inside the hut, but in the area anyways. And that's what they did. They went out on the Friday after or something like that, and a few days after, whatever it was, and put up the recorders. And we started, and that's when we had the 6th. Then we went back and pulled them. So anyways, this is where we're at. Excuse me. So now we've done a lot of listening to the sounds overnight, certain times a day, afternoons, evenings, 24/7, basically, however long the recorders lasted. And they got a lot of hours. Patty will give you more information how many hours we ended up with. But so I went through a bunch of them today and a couple days ago, and kind of made a list out of what I wanted to kind of go over with you guys. And I kind of want to walk you into let's see, a scenario in a sense, you know what I mean? So that way you can kind of live it almost like you're there. So the other thing I'm going to say to you guys is, excuse me. Hi, Jenny Davis. Unturned pages right there. I always mess this time up. 9 o'clock Sunday night. Yes. Matter of fact, I have a banner around here somewhere. Check it out. Watch how smart I am. Ticker. Ha ha. There she is. You think of that, Jenny? Huh? Not bad, right? So, yeah, let me say hello here, and then I'll get on with what I'm doing here. Oh, and there's our friend Barbara. She was at the doctor's office today. Her knee was all puffy. She was out looking for the squatchy, squatches, and she hurt her knee and had to go to the doctor. Told you, man, you just never know what's going to happen, right? So make sure you're on top of your game, right? So I forgot where I was. That stuff happens. So interactive. So listen, so I'm going to get with Bobby Lee. I'll have her come on the show again and explain a little bit more because I haven't done my due diligence in a sense. So we set up this little Facebook page, and it's for you guys to kind of join, and you can jump on during the show. So I got plenty of seats, so we can always pull people out of the audience and have them jump on. You know what I mean? It's something I want to do. I'm adamant about having an interactive podcast. So I want you guys to pay attention to that. And again, I'll have Bobby Lee come on. Maybe I don't know if we put a link in the comments or however that works, but Bobby Lee will explain it in a little while. She's busy right now. I don't know if you heard. My fault again. But anyways, so hi, Mary. Love you, girl. Thank you guys, everybody, for your support. I do appreciate that. Absolutely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up my friends, the Burkes. Let me see. Let me get away from Walter to make sure he's done eating. Hey, there it is. All right. I don't see any crumbs on him either. I think we're good. Patty, you waving? Patty's like, I don't need a wave. What's wrong with you? And here, without any further ado, is Pati Burke.
Hello.
And Walter Burke.
Hey guys, how you doing?
The band's back together.
Oh, Patty, that picture's paying off. I remember last time we had that craziness.
Oh yeah.
The one thing I can hear myself. Do you guys have an echo?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an echo. What kind of stream going on tonight? Oh, what's that? Oh, Mary says, love you, brother. Yeah. Bob, are you hearing
that?
echo?
Me all right? Am I echoing?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Bob, are you hearing that? Me all right? Am I echoing?
Oh, no. That sounds better.
That sounds good to me.
All right.
Thanks, Timmy. Yeah, why is everybody getting an echo? Tip. I don't have anything else.
I can hear myself 5 minutes later.
No, it's not you. Oh, is it a delay?
Yeah.
Always something with this technology. You know, look at the things we can do in this world. I can't put a damn set of headphones on and come on a podcast without an echo or delay. It's funny. Yeah. I muted and unmuted. That never worked though. So Patty.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Echo. More time delay.
Yeah.
How many hours did we get, Patty?
We got over 100 hours. We had 3 recorders, and it looked like the capacity was 4 9-hour files. One of the recorders was nothing but rain, so for some reason, I don't know if it was under a tree, something was dripping on it, but I couldn't get anything on that one recorder. But the other 3 paid off pretty well. The one by the nest, I don't know what you want me to say. We didn't get a whole lot on that one. But as usual, right, Wally, we had a lot of luck with the pipeline.
Yeah, a lot of pipeline material.
Yeah. Which isn't too deep in the woods, which is kind of odd. It's kind of shallow. But we had over 100 hours of audio to go through. And like you said, that must be right in the middle of about 4 airports because it is constant planes. Interesting.
So
wind.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the wind. The sudden wind and then stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
What he's talking about, there's like a motor sound and then it stops and then.
Yeah, and we'll hear them. We're going to go through them, and I'll kind of warn everybody ahead of time. You know what I mean? But there is some background, absolutely. I mean, they're outside.
Right.
No, it's not like we got hide them under our mattress. Bigfoot shows up. You know
Totally,
what I mean?
right?
So that's a lot of hours. I mean, for like digital recorders. You know, that's quite impressive. You know?
It just impressed me the battery lasted that long. You know.
Well, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because they were out there for a week, and I think we probably got 2 full days of sounds. You know, almost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely. 4 hours. That's 48. So yeah.
Damn, that's a lot. See, I watched the show with it out in I always forget it. Whatever. But the Nest out on the West Coast.
Oh yeah, the small town monsters.
They have the high performance, like chaotic ones, and they get them for like 58 days. I'm like,
I know, who listens to that, right? I mean, all you guys who ghost hunt, you know what it's like when you come back with, hours of evidence. Oh yeah, we were running 27 cameras. You're like, oh.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Evidence is exciting, but sometimes it's not that exciting. After like the 30th hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll tell you, like Patty said, listening to these tapes, when would you get sick of listening to somebody banging a tree?
Right. Computer volume on their computer. Right, hang on one second.
Okay.
It's nuts only. Patty comes in good. I don't have. Check 1 2 check. Nobody's touched anything on mine. Oh. How's that? Check 1 2.
There you go.
Ooh. I did something technology-wise.
Whoa.
On my own. Is that better, everybody? Sorry about that. Sorry. Someone has a computer. Well, you guys helped me out a lot. The delay is not. Somewhat delay. So delay's gone. Echo's gone. Right, everybody on the side? What? Triplet? What the hell are you talking about? I can't hear nothing. Anyway, so I put the slide up here so you can see and kind of refresh memories. No, not gone.
So what is it, an echo or is it a...
I don't know. I think it's a delay. Echo's on. No, Echo's not on. It was not. What? It's only like 8. You think I had all this figured out by now. Anyways, I wish my producer to get in and save me. No, it's not on Patty's. I agree. What's up? Oh man. I don't know. It's same as it's been for weeks. I don't touch this thing. Check 1 2 check. Check. Yeah, I can still hear a delay in mine. I wonder because we're running a new format. We are running a different format. So that's all right. Bear with me the best you can until my producer shows up. Here we go. So here's the hut. You see the hut? Everybody? So this is we're trying to refresh your memory a little bit for the site. It's Wally and Richie's. Wally, it's me off wall. Did you hear that?
I just turned my
Check 1 2. Yeah.
No, I'm on my phone.
Gotcha.
So it's not me.
And no. I'm definitely not my phone. Stand by. Nope, nothing's open here. Just know if my phone was picking anything up. All right.
Yeah, I just turned my back on.
Yeah, I don't know. It has to be something with StreamYard. It's not making any sense to me. So anyways, the location. Check. Richie two times. I believe it's happening because someone else has their mic on. While the others speaking. Yeah, nobody's even near each other. Speaking. Yeah, I can undo my mic and go straight off my. It's the only thing I can do to help out the situation. To be honest with you, it's funny because it fixed itself for a minute, didn't it? Oh, there's the producer, Bobby Lee. There.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, Pati, you were not echoing, but I think because you were off mute for some reason, yours was echoing, and I don't know if your audio was up. So I fixed it when I muted you. So even though you weren't echoing, I think it was your volume. So just when you're not talking, just keep it on mute, and that should fix it.
Yeah, woo. There it is. See that? That's producers. See that, everybody? Everybody's saying it's fixed. Everybody say thank you, Bobby Lee.
Thank you, Bobby Lee.
Well, I'm going to bring on, so everybody sees the hut, right? Yay. Yay. Everybody sees the hut. All right. Everybody knows where we're at. I'm going to pull that down, and I am going to bring my special guest star, Mr. Matt Moniz, to the stage. What's up, buddy?
What's happening, brother?
Dude, so good to see you, man. It feels like it's been forever.
Hello, guys. Good to see you all. Good to see you, Pat. Good to see you, Rich.
Yep. So good. Thank you for coming, man. Thank you, because it was racking my brain. I'm over here, and it's not a very large brain, so it doesn't take much to rack it. It just flows around in this cavity. So I'm over here going, I'm gonna try to pull somebody. You know, it was driving me nuts because I want to put my own, experience into this, because I'm a researcher too now. I don't know if everybody realized that, but it's been a long time I've been doing this. But I'm like, man, it's always good to have that outside source to pull in and say, hey, man, you've been there, and you and I spoke, I think it was like somewhere near Christmas. And when I had sent you the pictures of that hut, let everybody kind of know what you felt about the pictures of the hut and where to go from there. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about the whole situation there?
Well, historically, they have found these structures for many, many years in all the different locations. They're attributed to, Bigfoot, Sabe, whatever you want to call these things. And it makes sense for them to have just as a little shelter blind to get out of weather and lay in ambush in a lot of cases, because they're usually found near trails. That's one of the things that you find about these things. They're very close to trails. I'm sure the pictures that you got are right off of various game trails, correct?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Heavy trail too.
Yeah.
Heavy game.
So what you wind up having is hunters do this all the time. They'll, modern day hunters bring a blind with them, but it's the principle of you're breaking up your imprint that the animal would know to look at. Is like, instead it's just this dark blob that walk by, and then they jump out, smash a rock over the head, or however they dispatch their prey. But they're found, I've seen pictures of them in Ohio. They're made out of grass and various other things. I've seen the ones in Maine. I've been to ones in Maine personally. And as you guys were bringing me in, I heard about the ones out in California. They've definitely seen quite a bit out there as well. I want to say in the Sierra Nevadas is where a good portion of them that I've seen pictures of them taken. But they are definitely a structure that requires hands.
Yes. Because
a lot of these things are bent and woven. You're not going to get an elk or a deer, racking around with its, weaving it with its antlers or what have you. These things are a structure, and you can find the pieces of them coming from various other places away. This branch broken off of this, and this pulled and weaved and turned around. So that definitely means it's something that has the ability to manipulate its environment. Ergo, also something intelligent, because it takes intelligence to be able to know you can manipulate your environment to your own ends.
Absolutely. Question. I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay. Question. I thought I heard you say did you physically lay eyes on something similar to this in Maine?
Yeah, Maine.
So it's similar, like with a low.
I've seen them around here in Massachusetts before too, and I've seen photographs of them in other states. So yeah, it's a common occurrence. So they're out there.
So that's big for us because I mean, it's something that I've never seen, and through all my research and being on even the television and the YouTubes and the documentaries and the over and over and over again. And I think I'd mentioned to you, I had sent it up to even Alex Petikoff, and he had never seen anything like this, even as a survivalist and somebody who researches Bigfoot, you know what I mean? Which I was kind of taken aback by. I figured he might have an answer for me, you know what I mean?
They definitely have been pictures around of these things for decades.
Yeah, so he's
on Alex hasn't come across.
Yeah, but he's not a structure guy either, though.
Okay.
He discounts a lot of structures, and that's fine and that's fair. Everybody has their own way. I would never, ever discount anybody's knowledge because they don't believe in one aspect or another of research. I don't think that's fair. You know what I mean? I feel for me, I leave everything wide open. You know what I mean? So I don't need to jump at every noise I hear either, or every stick I see stuck to another tree. But to hear him say that, it threw me off. And then I kind of knew I was onto something in a sense. And then your response, along with Dave McCullough and Mike Trainor's response, is just, for me, right, guys? I mean, I shared that with the Burks, and they were pretty excited because they respect you guys a lot. And it was really, was really a big deal to hear that about this site from you guys, It was huge. So I was pretty excited, you know what I mean? Where's the closest one, would you say, in this state, maybe, that you might be able to recall, or have you ever seen one or even if it's Rhode Island or Connecticut or something closer to where we are right now? Me being the Bridgewater Triangle, I guess, and yourself,
Well, the ones I've seen were actually local. As a kid growing up, I just didn't know what the hell they were as a kid. I just put it up to, but was in Mattapoisett, which is not far from where I am in Wareham. Right. But I also remember them in. I saw what I thought was a remnants of one in Freetown, in the Freetown State Forest. There were also, somebody showed me pictures of them actually in Bridgewater. I think it was actually Easton, the town of Easton.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are around. And the ones up in Maine were up on around Moosehead Lake area. Okay. And this thing was like fairly large size too. And I'm like, I was out deer hunting, and if you've ever been out in that area, that's some thick woods. It's mountainous thick woods. And it's like, whoa, okay, this is an interesting structure.
Yeah,
that's could it have been an older human, some bushcraft guy set up because he was out camping out in the middle of, some people do make these things. Some of them are human made. And that's what I mean. Some of these take hands, but if generally, there's nobody out there bushwhacking or whatever, that means something else had to make it.
Yeah. All right. And you got any questions for Matt? And I want you guys, you and Patty, to ask Matt as we go along too. You know what I mean? If you have questions, we can.
Can I ask questions?
No, Matt. No questions from you, Matt.
Okay.
The ones up in Maine, were they pine? Were they using pine, or were they using old? How was the structure like? Can you describe it, or was it?
It was arches over, and I want to say it was like willow branches. Willow plants.
Okay.
Took that and they made
bent it inside, like.
Yeah, it was crisscross and weaved in. The stick structure ones I've seen around here were mainly deadfall branches, and some of them were pine that was used to wrap around. Yeah, something similar like that. Yeah.
So that's this is where I get thrown off, is at the bottom. See the bottom right by the stumps? And I don't know if I gave her some other, I don't know if I gave them all, but see, even in here, you can see the inside, those ones are bent off in a direction. These ones are bent off. I mean, it's funny because
one where you found a twisted stick inside, right?
That's out behind this one. That's like a stand-up one.
Behind
More
that
so
one.
what Matt's talking about, where they kind of arch over like this. They're bent one way and then they're bent the other way, and I could walk inside it. And there was a twisty all the way around, like a 360 twice as you entered into it, as if to say, welcome to my home. You know what I mean? It was nuts. And I was standing up in it. And then when I put the camera facing out, you could see all the trees bending up at me all the way up. It was a great picture of them all right in a line, like just perfect line, like 4 of them, And
this is right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I just wanted to reiterate the fact that at the bottom, they were bent at the stump area when they went to meet each other, and there were some other ones thrown over them too, right? Is that the way you saw it? Well, Patty, you can chime in and out just when you're not just because she blamed you for all the echoing, by the way. Raise your hand if it's your fault. Yep, there you go. That's her. No, but
was that a finger? Did you give me the finger?
Probably I deserved it, didn't I? But Wally, is that the way you saw it? Plus, I saw loose pieces kind of thrown over the top. Is that correct?
Right, and it's also underneath this indented. Like, I mean, what's indenting the ground there?
Correct. Yeah, I have a picture of that from the Scaniverse app where I
did
I
that
did
one come in all right?
Yeah, it came in good. Once I pulled it, I think I showed it in the last meeting with the white arrows and the lines kind of outlining it. You could see a little ridge wall on the leaves,
right? And
where something
and like
was
what
laying.
Matt was talking about. It's funny, right across from this hut, so to speak. There's a lot of pine, and Wojo found it, but it's like somebody put a big pine tree, like leaned it up against it, so you can almost stand there and you couldn't see him. It was so thick with the pines. It was like covering you.
Yeah.
And it's right on a trail, like a heavy game trail.
It's crazy. And I think like we talked about this, it became obvious, I believe. And Patty, you could chime in on this as well. When it's kept alive, so in the seasons it just kind of blossoms, and now you have even more coverage.
Green.
Yeah, you're right. You can't even be seen, right? I mean, there's no way you could see me in that. I had the video of me laying in it. You cannot see. It's about 8 to 9 feet long, technically, if I go out to the furthest point inside, Matt. And it does kind of bow down when you're laying in there. And then when I get up, not one leaf stuck to me because everything was so compact to the ground. Nothing stuck. I went to go wipe myself off, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Nothing's on me. You know what I mean? Those are the kinds of little things that stand out to you as a researcher and being out in the woods so often and so many times in your life that you're like, I didn't have to wipe myself off. It was weird. You know what I mean?
Now here's a question: was the ground compacted or was it excavated? If you know what I mean.
Compacted.
Okay. I think it would be compacted, but there's probably 3 inches of leaves on it. And this thing doesn't look like it's new. This looks like it's been generational. That's my theory, anyways. I feel it's generational. Patty, Wally, would you agree? Something that's been there a long time?
Yep.
You got it.
I believe so.
Can we click her off so she can say something? Patty. No, I can't unmute her. Can you unmute yourself, Patty? Bobby Lee did this to you. She's locked you in a bubble. That's how producers fix their echoes. They just they cancel you. Where'd you go? Oh,
there she's gone. Oh,
and then she came back.
Oh, you kicked her.
Yeah. So no, I just, to me, I think it's generational. I don't think this is something that is. I don't think there's something that's new. It could have. My point being, I guess, to this, Matt, is to answer your question. Maybe it was excavated out. I know primates do that a lot. They kind of dig down and throw all the stuff around everywhere, especially when it's hot, and then they kind of climb in.
What they'll do is they'll excavate the ground and put things on it.
Right.
And, they'll dig a shallow spot, and then they'll take boughs of trees and and pile it up to make up basically a bedding.
Well, like Richie did find one of those nests had those boughs in it, right?
Well, that's true. That's true, Wally. Good point. This is the other thing, Matt, that I kind of brushed it off, and then I thought about it more, hindsight, right? Especially with this stuff. And then you get back and you start thinking. When I went in there to the left, no, when I was standing there looking at the door, yeah, so it was on the left when I went in. On the right, I look over, and there's this beautiful plush green, like hemlock fir type of branches, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, but they almost look like they're in the ground. So I'm thinking, oh, those look new, like somebody just threw them down there, right? So I went to pull them up, and they were rooted, but they were very, very, very flat. Right. So, but they were fresh in the ground. So I couldn't pull them out. So when they went back there when I was sick at home, I reviewed some of the footage that Wojo sent me. And there was another one of those in a new hut that they had found. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's, they do it on purpose. Like I said, it could just grow with the seasons. You know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting that you're mentioning hemlock, because a lot of times they'll use hemlock or cedar. Now they're nice, cushy, evergreen type of branches, but they also have another secondary effect. They contain pyrethrins, and that's used in insect control. It gets rid of mosquitoes and ticks and other things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Real quick, Bobby Lee, Patty just dropped out. If we have to send her another link, make sure we send her another link, or maybe you can contact her and see if we fix some of that difficulties, because that would say the device isn't connected.
Yeah, no, I sent that up. She's probably coming out and then trying to get back in to try and reset it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Well, that's an interesting point. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt.
If you look, there's a couple of very good photographs of something identical to like what you have up here from Ohio. Look up Ohio Bigfoot nest.
Oh,
give it a quick Google.
Okay.
And you'll see something that looks almost exactly like what you've got up on your screen. This goes back. Don Keating, who heads up a lot of the Ohio grassman studies, was out there, and I've known him for years. Anyway, they have stuff like this all over Ohio. So seeing this same kind of structure to me is like, this is not new. And the one I saw in Easton was interesting because it was similar to what you have there, but just other branches wrapped around it. And then there were branches that went in a full circle around where this hut was. And then there was one lone tree that had no branches on it, but they made a gigantic teepee with other dead trees. And this was just off of a power line trail where a kid was parked up on top of the power lines, with his girlfriend watching submarine races, if you know what I'm talking about. But, and the thing was stomping on right down outside the power lines. And we decided, the kid made a report to a friend of mine in this, actually it was an animal control officer from my area. And we went and investigated and came across this nest of this thing. And I was like, oh, this is a nest. This is tree barriers. And here's a big, tall teepee thing. I have pictures of all this somewhere. I would have to dig them out, but this is not uncommon to me. I've seen this in my area. So
and this is the close-up right here of like they said too with the roots. I was saying earlier, Wojo brought up a good point that some of the knocking like that we're gonna hear some stuff, so everybody stick around. We got some definitely compelling sounds coming up. It'll build up to where I want to have you kind of go, but it's pretty cool. So but one thing that Wojo brought up I thought was kind of neat, that because my theory is that it looks like it was boiled, like I've said to all you guys, and softened and then bent into place. But he kind of brought up a theory of hitting it with a stick. Hi, Patty.
Hi.
Oh, no echoes. No echoes, right, everybody? Everybody on the side? No echoes? We're good?
No echoes.
That's right, Jim. We're here live with Patti Burke. All right, that's my radio voice. I get it in once per show. But beating the bottoms with a stick. you know, or a bat or whatever, you know, like I have a bat, but say they have like a club and they like beating it, and it would soften that up to where they could put it in the place. So they're not just snapping them and killing them and not being able to reuse them. Does that sound like a possibility or something you might have ever heard? It's definitely a great theory. I got to give it that, you know,
after the noises we hear.
Yeah. Well, when we get to the noise, I guess I should have saved that one, right?
Right.
Maybe that's a good intro to it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Patty, what do you got to say about all this? You've been silent for a little while while my producer canceled you. So how you feeling now?
Awesome. I feel good. I mean,
good. Good. Now,
like Matt, I've seen these structures on some YouTube. I think he was called the Ohio Grassman or the Grassman guy. But he showed some nests similar. They were taller and they were a little rounder. They weren't arched like ours are arched, but it was pretty interesting. And then there were some bedding sites, which were like almost like deer bedding sites, but they were bigger.
Yeah,
much bigger, close by to these.
Yep.
And that was in Ohio. But
I think it's great. I think it's got to go. I mean, it's just like any being, any creature, any human being, or Neanderthals, or whatever you want to go back to, primates, Gigantopithecus. I think whatever you have around you is basically what you make your home with. Isn't that the whole theory of this life? Yeah. Really? I mean, Eskimos made igloos. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's something that you would. So that's why I've been saying for weeks now that the huckleberry on the West Coast that this showing on Small Town Monsters now is basically our pine. You know what I mean? Or our oak, or our hemlock, as you mentioned. You know, that's what I truly believe. So I think if you go even a little further over to Ohio, they might have something else that they can use. Matter of fact, the Appalachian, I believe it's the Appalachian Trail. Am I saying that right? Is like the largest home. Get this, everybody. Wait for this, because I almost fell over when I found this out. Rhododendrons. Rhododendrons are actually prehistoric, and they actually have a rhododendron forest on the Appalachian Trail. Huh. And you can imagine
that old.
Yeah, exactly. And you can imagine rhododendrons would be a kick-ass place. All you can do is kind of carve out and snap off everything in it, and here are these, you know, waterproof leaves over your head, right? I mean, it would be a great place for you or I. You might get dripped on, but you wouldn't get smoked. Basically, now it says my producer's not connected. Everybody, run! We're all gonna go down. The producer's gone. No way. I'll just draw from my audience because apparently they were pretty kick-ass with the technical stuff. So what we did tonight, real quick, just so you guys know if there's a difference or things happening, we went on to a different format. We dropped one and went to a different format. So sometimes when you change things up, things can tweak or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? So if there is a little bit of that going on, it's not that we've gone backwards. It's actually we're trying to move forward. And sometimes when you do that, you might stumble a little bit. Everybody say hello to Linda. Hello, Linda. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Linda.
So yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be bringing up the different sounds. Let me see 1 second. There we go. And I want to go. I gotta see. You know what else I had here? I want to see if I have it here before we do that. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. All right. I was just checking in the technology. Sorry, guys. All right. Let me go into. I want to see because I had on here because before we get into sounds, I want to get into. Had more pictures on here that I wanted to see, and it was kind of like what you were talking about, but I don't want to leave. Stop cam settings. Okay. I had a whole bunch more stuff in here, and I want not for this show. It was from the old show, but I wanted to bring it back up so we could kind of revisit some of that other part of that structure. I actually did a walk around, I think, on two of them, and I had it posted on my YouTube page. And oh, what's this? On my hi, Wally. Wally's got a dog. Hi, doggy. Yep. What was that old dog? What was that dog's name? Wasn't it like Bud Light or something? Remember that dog?
This one's Harley.
It's McKenzie.
Oh,
yes,
Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah, he's a little bit more stealthy though. He's not as plunky as Spuds McKenzie, if that's even a word. I don't even know. So let's say hi to a couple of people on the side, everybody. I'm going to say hi to What's up, Junior? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Let's see.
How's everybody doing?
Future Ghosts Paranormal of New Jersey. What's up? How you doing, man? Thanks for being here. Look at a lot of these podcasts you can check out. The Paranormal Voice, located. I know Dale Quigley, anyways. I haven't met his. I'm going to be on their show coming. I believe they're. Let me get this right. Might have them backwards. February 21st, and then I'm on an Unturned Pages March 10th. So these guys have podcasts too, man. Make sure you check out those podcasts. This is Get Haunted. Get Haunted is the platform that we're on right now. Make sure you go check out their stuff. A lot of these guys belong to that platform, so it's really cool. And Vextasy is my friend Ronald down in Florida. Says can still see you, see y'all. See y'all. He's a transplant, so now he says y'all because he's been down there for a decade or more, probably longer, 20 years. I don't even know. If you're wondering, no, we're not wondering. Although you would think we're wondering with the way that the technology is messing with me today. So it might be Matt's fault because last time Matt was here, I had technical problems. Everything's been running smooth ever since. Everything ran smooth in between. You know what I mean? So, Matt, real quick before we do that, since 94, Ron, really, dude? Jesus, we're old. One more. What's up, Jimmy Lewis? We call him J. Lou.
Don't do the math.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do the math. So what was I saying? Matt, remember the recording we had that you had brought in?
Yep.
Of the client with the loud grumbling and grunting, and then there's a little bit of tree snaps afterwards. Has there been any update on that? Are we still waiting to hear back?
I'm still waiting to hear back. I think the person I'm looking to keep in contact is in Florida at the moment.
Gotcha.
She's older and retired and has property there because she owns half the town where this occurred. So,
right. Yeah.
If she wants to go take off, she can.
Yeah. She's allowed to do that. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I will poke the property renter, but because where we went, and where the cameras are, right? The property renter has that little plot. Once you go beyond that into the woods, that's the owner who owns the rest of the property. I want to make sure I got all my I's dotted, T's crossed. I don't want to go trespassing, even though I have permission and stuff like that. I would prefer to let the appropriate people know because, it's out there in the boonies. If I go just driving up and walking into the woods, I could be talking to a cop on the way out. Not
very quickly. Yeah,
cops too, but I would prefer not to, and do everything legit. But once I get in touch, you and I, and if you want to grab Trainer, we can go take another walk around.
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked for that. Absolutely, and that's the other thing, guys. Matt brings up a great point here. Don't just go walking off into the woods because look for the preservations, things like that. You can go off trail with or conservation land. You can go off trail. And it could be someone's property, and you could get yourself in trouble. So I don't want to act. I don't want to
schedule too.
Yeah, check your hunting schedule too. Always a good point. Yes.
I've been hunting with people before that hunt by sound. Not a good idea.
Remember last time I went out, I wore my brown and white fur coat. It was not good.
Yeah.
So that one still hurts. But
put
Bobby
the bunny ears on Patty.
Go run, Patty. Run. I'm going to add my producer to the stage. Bobby Lee, are you back?
Hello.
Hi, producer. How you doing?
Good. My computer crashed trying to live stream, do Adobe Effects and After Effects, and so I'm on my iPad and I opened up my laptop. So I am all over the place right now. I will come back. Give me a few minutes so that I can render this video and get back to you.
All right, that sounds outstanding. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. That's all. We're just checking on you. Worried about you.
No more. No more video editing during live streams. That's the end of it.
I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am.
Hey.
I have no idea what she's talking about. Don't anybody listen to her. What you heard was a recording. So the other thing that Pati and Wally and I and Wojo were talking about is on the 20th. Am I correct? Weather permitting, we plan on going back out to this location too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weather permitting.
Mm-hmm.
Weather permitting.
Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah.
How many recorders do we have right now? Like you guys, I don't have any, but I mean, I got 3 here. 5 or 6, say?
Yeah.
We have 5 right now.
Right,
We
how
have
about
others that we can't get to right now, but
really?
we have
Like, what
5.
do you mean you can't get to them? They're in the woods, or you can't get to them because they're at the
Oh,
house?
it's in storage.
They're in their storage.
Gotcha. Copy that.
They're in my
Stop
storage
right there.
unit, which...
Yep. No. Say no more. I thought they were out in the woods somewhere. You know what I mean? Being manhandled by some piece of nature.
No.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, why don't
private
we?
Property.
I'll grab.
We can't get back to it.
Yeah. Yes. Just put on your bunny ears. That's what Wally says. Apparently, it fixes everything. So I'm gonna bring a couple out with me and put them out there with you, but I'm gonna come bring mine back here to edit. Not obviously leave that up to you, because I think that would help a lot. You know what I mean? Just have those extra spots, extra locations. I mean, we might as well ramp that up a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't feel so good about. I have trail cameras, and I gotta be honest, I have not used them in years because they've never really rendered anything. Anything to me, the IR is like a beacon of light. It's like a lighthouse on a peninsula. You know what I mean? To me, I don't know. I haven't really got. Man, have you really seen many dramatic trail camera type pictures or video even?
Yeah, there's a handful that I've seen. One of the other techniques that seemed to work better were the earlier trail cameras that weren't using IR. So I've got a friend of mine that's electrical engineer, and I've got quite a handful of my own trail cams. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have them disable the IR portion of the camera, the emitter, and put an IR at an IR source at a right angle. So it's going to think, this is the source of, where a camera, you're decoying with the light. So it comes and gives you a profile or a shadow. You can see the shadow of this thing, or at least half of it, depending upon how it wants to go around the light.
Right.
You would still trip it, but you're getting it from a different angle. Say it wants to, go from behind a tree, thinking the light's coming this way, but the camera's off its right shoulder, so it's going to you're going to get the silhouette.
Somebody was talking about mirrors in that way, using mirrors as putting the camera on a mirror, and you're actually getting the reverse. It's not reflecting onto them, but it's reflecting off of the mirror.
Right. Same idea. The light source is coming different from where the camera's catching the picture.
Different direction. Right.
That's how that lady caught that. There was something going into her shed. I think they were either getting the eggs or getting the chickens, and she finally put a camera up in her living room against the big mirror, and the mirror was pointing to the shed, and she got something big was going in there.
With a trail cam? With a trail cam?
The mirror idea is a great idea.
Really?
No, it was I don't know if it was a GoPro or what, but she had the camera in the house.
Oh,
my bad. The camera was filming the big mirror, and the mirror was just happening to reflect the shed, the backyard. I mean, it wasn't great. It was far away, but you could still see something big. I don't remember where it was. Might have been Texas. I'm not sure, but
everything's bigger in Texas. That makes sense. Everything's bigger in Texas, even Bigfoot.
Yeah.
No, I disagree with that. I don't think there's enough food down there.
That's true.
I think up here, I think they have like all kinds of, there's there's very vast, like located areas everywhere. You know what I mean? Like you go out to where my property is in the Bridgewater Triangle, and it's 3 acres that I own, but it has 94 acres of conservation and preservation. You would never, ever, ever, ever drive by there and go, wow, look at this 94 acres over there. Never. And if anybody ever told you they did, they're lying to you. Without inside knowledge, there's no way you would ever consider that to be 94 acres. And one's a preserve and one's a piece of conservation land. And they abut each other. And it equals 94 acres. And you would have no freaking idea. Like it's mind-blowing. You know what I mean? So I think anywhere they can prosper. But I just think I always go with the water source. I always go with the wetlands. You go down to the Great Rainforest. Isn't there all kinds of crazy animals that live there? Big animals, anacondas that are bigger than your house or whatever. I mean, it just seems like if there's a a wetter source, a moisture or something where things grow kind of crazy. It just seems like this for something that eats meat and berries and trees and leaves or whatever the hell it does. I'm big on the berries, the bark, skunk cabbage, the bugs, and the deer, you know what I mean? Or whatever else they can get his hands on, your dogs, whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm big on having all of it, you know what I mean? Matt, do you feel like the wetter the bigger?
It reminds me of one of my biology professors, something he said. Where things grow, things go.
Oh, perfect.
Right.
That's perfect.
Perfect for biology.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It does.
Yeah.
Well,
A good food source usually there's a lot of predators.
Which would bring up a good.
It brings both predator and prey. Things to eat on the things that are growing, and things to eat the things that are eating the things that are growing. Yeah,
it's all a big chain. I mean,
it
all starts from the grass and the bugs and it's all built up to the snakes and the lizards and the foxes.
Yeah, and you think about it. You look at like Bigfoot sightings that they have. Like Western. If you notice the central part of America, and like Arizona and stuff like that, you don't get a lot of like reports of somebody Bigfoot sightings and stuff like that. But if you look at it's called the Bigfoot Mapping Project. Is that correct, Matt? Is that how it's said?
Yeah, something Bigfoot, like
Bigfoot Mapping Project. Look it up, and whenever there's a sighting, you go on there. It's a website, and you just punch in all the information, and then it just it categorizes it location wise, all that stuff, class A, class B, all that stuff. So, but if you look in the central part of America and towards the like western, eastern part of like Arizona, there's nothing ever reported. You know what I mean? I mean, imagine there is stuff and people don't report it.
There is in New Mexico and Utah and stuff like that. But it is, like I said, where things, it's in river valleys or along basically mountain ridges, because at mountain ridges, obviously, where all the clouds bring down rain because of their high elevation in the desert, and the valleys where all the rest of the water that falls collects and creates, river routes.
Yeah.
But I definitely know of a couple of guys. There's the Arizona 4. They're a group of guys that go hunting out in Arizona, and I've talked to a number of people in New Mexico, definitely, because as you know, I go to Roswell pretty much every year to run a lot of the events they got going on, their AV stuff. And I talk to people from there, and they're like, yeah, well, it's not in Roswell, it's more up northern part of the state, but they do have it.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
there are hot spots for sure around the Navajo areas too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Native American, obviously, they've always been intertwined, and that's
a lot of
some of the things that they do and things like that, or they believe like maybe even this hut, maybe even this type of building, maybe even this types of structures, or the types of things that they do. Like I strongly believe that what they do with bark and stuff like that, tree bark, you could tell when the tree bark's peeled off a fresh tree as opposed to just letting it dry out, peel up, and then rip it off. It's two different. It looks like two different things, and a lot of the trees I come across don't have bark on them. I mean, it's not like it's just been eaten by bugs. You can't see even trails for bugs or crumbs from bugs. Nothing. It's gone. It's gone. So I think a lot of this stuff is intertwined with the Native Americans, and I think they probably passed a lot of stuff on to one another. I truly believe, that maybe their form of communication, maybe Native Americans back in the day hit a tree with a stick to communicate with the other one that was over there. You know what I mean? Because they were hunting a whatever, you know what I mean? A buffalo, I don't know, whatever the hell it is. They were hunting, maybe that's a form of communication that they did. All these are not terrible theories. And I don't think any theory in a situation you don't have 100% documented proof of is a terrible theory, right? I mean, I really don't care what you say,
Right.
We don't have scientific evidence of the existence of this creature. So if you come at me and say, well, I know they like tulips. Okay. I'll take a shot. Wherever the tulips are, I'm going, What's
well,
that,
Rich, we do have some scientific evidence.
Some, yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say none. We have a lot more that needs to be analyzed. That's the problem. Plenty of people collecting samples, not enough money is what it really comes down to do the testing.
Well, let's say DNA test is how much. I mean, just to do, like, if you found
depending upon the type. That's my background. I do analytical chemistry, molecular biology, and genetic engineering.
So, like, we found that feces out there with the hair, and you brought that in. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. I would be like, "Ugh, hey, look at crap." But I mean,
but there are ways to analyze crap, and the crap will tell you more definitively than the hair what you're dealing with. Did you know that?
Oh.
Okay.
All right, Pat, you're bagging up crap.
I'm in.
Well, I'll give you the science behind it. What everybody has and every animal has is a certain biomes. They're little bugs that are in your gut. Okay.
Right.
And they have a very specific genetic sequence. It tells you what your animal you're dealing with by the gut bacteria that comes out in the fecal matter. It also tells you the health of various animals by detecting the other flora and fauna, gut flora and fauna that are in there. And each of them, like I said, is specific to each animal kingdom and individual type creatures. We can tell the difference between basically chimpanzee crap versus human crap. Even though we're that closely related.
What's inside the enzymes.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of, real quick, I want to get to the sound soon, but we did.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it is very fascinating.
Making crap fascinating. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I'm glad I
could. You made shit interesting.
Yes.
I've had that said on more than one occasion.
Right. So you would know where we could send this to get analyzed, right? If we find it, if we had it.
I do, but who's going to pay for it? See, that's
what I'm saying.
That's where the stumbling block comes in.
What does analyze my shit go for?
Right.
Like,
depending, it can be literally into the thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
just for one sample.
Well, they do that on the Josh
just
Gates
to sequence
show.
one set of things.
A pile of shit. He just goes and tests it like it costs him $1 at a vending machine. You know.
Yeah.
No.
Let's send this off, Jim. Let's go out back here. Bob will pull it apart and take a look at it. You know
but if you're looking for it to be considered, even remotely considered by science, that's the level at which you have to do it. If you understand what I'm saying. You know, it's not like you take a little bit of this and send it off to 23andMe and, you know, for what is it, like $100 or whatever, and you get
right.
It's not that kind of sequencing.
Not your little tweezer set and your magnifying glass and you're looking at it now.
Yeah. But take real quick. My friend T, see that man? This is my buddy Tim. He liked you on the last show. He goes, I told you I like that man. Who else makes shit interesting? That's a very, very good observation on your part, Mr. Tellis. Absolutely. No, seriously. Well, it's a big deal because what we found was, or they found, I wasn't there this time actually. Wojo said it was like about the size of his hand, and it had tons and tons of what looked like deer fur in it. Like, wouldn't you guys say that? The picture I got was brown and white, like, right? It was like a ton of it, like a lot of deer hair, right?
That was a lot of hair.
The whole thing, you could barely see. You could barely see the poop.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I think it was a coyote or a canine.
The size of your how big was it? You're like, you know what I mean? Like I said to him, I said that's why you got to have one of those. I don't have it on me, but those little trusty like fabric tape measures. You know what I mean?
Scaniversed it.
I wasn't there, but yeah, you guys could have. You could have scaniversed a big poop log.
I didn't even think about it. We should have scaniversed.
It was an interesting. It was an interesting piece of shit. I got to be honest with you guys.
Yeah,
you know, when I saw the picture,
you'd like it, Matt.
Okay, I'll take your word. But as far as scale reference, there's something everybody or people used to always carry: a dollar bill. A dollar bill is a known scale size. Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, and we don't want to go down a political road here, but
no, not on my show. Moving on.
Well, one of my friends is a professor of economics, and he said something to me to the effect that a society without cash are called slaves. And he pointed out back in history, slaves weren't allowed to have cash, and they were paid in, credits or chits, or, cash was reserved for, the aristocracy. So, and what they're trying to do now is get cash out of everybody's hands, because he who has the gold makes the rules, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying.
Control.
Yeah. All about control. And I now step off my soapbox.
Barbara
But
wants
I'm saying, if you still have one, it's a known scale, so you can put it next to.
You don't have a photo of that poop, do you?
Did we send it to you? Or no?
Yeah, no. Wojo did. I could look. Let me look, and then I can't really download it.
Barbara
at the
wants
moment.
to see it.
Oh my god! All right, I got a couple more minutes because we're still working on some of these sounds, so I apologize. Technology has not been my friend this evening, but that's okay. I'm not scared. All right, let me just
because I'm on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Matt,
you're laughing.
Matt came in.
This
Listen,
happens
bro.
all the time when I come on various shows and stuff.
You got some energy about you, brother. There ain't no doubt about that, man. I'm like, it's all right. Listen, we're having fun. Oh, here we go.
Right.
Oh God, it's gross. It's just disgusting. Robert, I can't download it. I got time. That's a furry poop on my show.
I mean,
Do you see that fur?
It is a furry. Some of the coyotes we have out here are huge, though. I mean, I groomed dogs for 14 years with my sister, and I know the
Western
size of
Mass,
the dog.
Barbara.
And this dog, coyote was 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And they're hybrids. They come down from Canada.
Yeah, they're the coy wolves.
Yeah, they're breeding up in Canada, in that park, and they're half wolf, half coyote. So, yeah.
They can get up to 80 to over 100 pounds. Your average wolf could get up to 140 to 160 in the male in the northern territories and stuff like that. I've also heard up in Upper Canada, if we're getting into cryptid things, some reports of actual dire wolves. Now, dire wolves got up 200, 300 pounds and over 700 pounds.
That's the size of a bear. Can you imagine?
You ever see that video of the dire wolf chasing the dire wolf through the woods?
That is one of the things. Yeah, somebody said that may have, but there's been other reports. But yeah,
that's crazy.
That's a scary freaking animal to come out into the woods. And do we want to go down the area of Dogman?
Ooh, what do you think about Dogman, Matt?
Well, I've heard.
Dogman. I don't know if I'm there yet. I've said. I'm sorry, you glitched out on me. So what do you feel about Dogman?
Well, I've had reports of sightings of them in Rhode Island and Moosup Valley, all the way up to Orange, Mass.
Really?
Yes.
I know that there's been sightings in Rutland, Mass, which is not far from where we where we live.
Dogman.
Yeah,
of Dogman. See, I don't know.
What was the other one?
A campground.
Sheffield? No, not Sheffield. Right next to it, Great Barrington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're coming down the Berkshires there. Yeah.
So, I mean, so what are we thinking? Like, not to get off track. We'll jump over to the audio in a minute. Everybody, stay tuned. We got time. Don't worry. Everybody, breathe. So, what do we feel about Dogman? I mean, how do you feel about that, Matt? Like, I don't know what to make of.
How far back do our stories go of werewolves? Another good example that people keep pointing out is Anubis in Egyptian mythology. A type of canid thing on two legs is found on all of the continents and found in most folklore stories,
petroglyphs and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's got to be something to it. Is it actually something that you fear by night when the wolfbane blooms and all that? Don't know, but when you get a lot of people reporting the same characteristics, there's something. You know, not everyone is misidentifying a bear standing on its hind legs. Some of these people making reports are avid hunters and have harvested many more than just one bear over the years. They know what a bear is. They've taken them apart and eaten them. So I'm pretty sure they have a good idea what a bear is when they see it.
Right.
So, you know, when they're saying, I'm seeing something that has a dog's face, and a majority of them all say a German Shepherd, you know, German Shepherd type of snout muzzle, big upper body. Now, what's interesting, they say it has shorter legs than a human does when it's standing. So massive upper body and small lower portions per se. Okay. And this is consistent from person to person to person to person to person to person. The same description. They're all describing the same thing. So it's got to be something. Is it something corporeal? I don't know.
And these people are legitimately shook when they, you know, tell their tales. They saw something that was not, like you said, just a bear or a.
Sometimes it's a hunter, and he says he'll never go in the woods again.
Yeah.
And it's like, really?
Because of dog man?
Well, one of the people I talked to was an avid bear hunter. So, like I said, he knows what a bear is. That's what he's out there looking for.
Right.
What he encountered, he said, wasn't a bear. So, you know, and he was somewhere around 50 feet away from the thing, which is in the woods, close with a large animal. Okay.
Yeah.
And this thing was large. It was looking at him. It was bigger than him. And when you're talking here in New England, your average boo-boo out there standing on its hind legs, if it's a big bear, you're lucky you're going to get 6 feet. This person said this thing was well over 8 feet tall.
Jeepers.
So that is not if that's a bear in this area, the only bears that get up that tall are brown bears. We don't have any brown bears. And if it was, that's still a significant encounter in the woods around here. Either way.
Yeah. It's a bizarre topic that for me, as somebody who is so open-minded and has researched Bigfoot as long as I have, and has had experiences as I've had, it's hard for me to wrap it around my head, man. My head around it, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I try, and I've watched a lot of things on it, and now I'm watching Petikoff's getting into it. He has a series coming out about the dog man. So it's it's intriguing.
Oh, really?
I just saw it. Yeah, if you go on YouTube and just subscribe to his thing, and when you hit subscriptions, it'll always come up. So I always click on it to see what he's got upcoming. And one of the things is about dogmen, and it kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop, because to me, from what my research is, that's like mainstream to me, because I've watched him for a long time now. You know what I mean? So to see him having that up there, I mean, shit's got to be getting real.
Right.
You know what I mean? I haven't talked to McCullough about this. It'd be a good conversation to have with McCullough, I think, too.
Well, maybe he met someone who had a sighting that was.
Oh, Alex?
Yeah. I wonder what Dave does think.
You know what I mean? That would be a good topic.
Oh, yeah,
for
maybe
Dave.
he met someone who had a sighting that was really compelling in it, you know.
Yeah. It's an interesting theory. I don't know. It's hard for me to put it into words when it comes to when I go outside the scope of Bigfoot. It seems for me, it's weird, because again, as open-minded as I am, I've seen ghosts and all these other things, and I go outside even the realm of I believe I've had experience with seeing UFOs, you know what I mean? But I truly believe all that stuff, you know what I mean? So when I sit here and I think of like for instance, Bigfoot being a cloaker, you know what I mean? Like, I have trouble with that twist. You know what I mean? I do. I truly do. And I don't know why, you know what I mean? It's a strange type of thing. It's kind of where my reality checks in and keeps me in check and says, hey, let's just take it let's know this part of it first. And I honestly, to share a quick story, I had an experience with what I believe was
right. You think
Go ahead. Patty, go ahead. Patty.
Sorry, I was going to say you're already out there chasing a 10-foot ape in the American woods, but you don't want to believe that he might disappear sometimes, right? It's just
it's a bizarre rabbit hole.
I can do a reality check, right?
It's a bizarre rabbit hole. And one time I had an experience. It was
absolutely.
fun. I told you guys this story. It was about the doctor from Oklahoma or something that he believed in Bigfoot being a cloaker. And I didn't really believe much about it, but I had just watched the story on that. And it was so strange how it happened. The universe is a funny place. And my daughter and I went out to my property and I showed her where it all started for me with the birch tree that's intertwined into the V-shaped birch trees. And, you know, that's when I realized something out there had to have thumbs in order to intertwine that branch. And it really was an epiphany for me. So I leave the branch there, obviously, out of respect for them. And I wanted to bring my daughter out there and show it to her. And she was standing on one side of the moss mound, and I was on this side of the moss mound, and then which is the root ball basically for this crazy like wetland type birch tree, you know, if you can imagine it visually. And I'm standing there, and I know what I heard, and I wanted to validate it as I did when I was a ghost hunter, investigator, paranormal investigator, however we're saying it these days. I looked at her and said, you know, are you hearing anything right now? And if you are, what is it? Because I didn't want to just lead her on or lead her into a direction. I wanted her to tell me so I could validate. And she said, I hear something very big coming at me, but I can't see it, and it's running at me. And honest to God, I stood here. This is an experience that I had. I stood here on this mound, and I heard footfall. Boom, 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 boom. And you could almost, it was projected towards me to where I could almost feel it coming right at me, man. And I got goosebumps telling you this story, man. And I was so freaked out. And as soon as my daughter said that, I looked at her and said, hit the game trail and don't look back. Go right to the house. And that's what I did. I just had my back to her the whole time. I kind of ran backwards down my game trail because I couldn't see anything. But I know what I freaking heard. And she knows what I heard because she validated it for me. You know what I mean? She was like 9 or 10 or 11. I don't know. How old is she now? Oh, God. Anyways, I don't want to go back there. She was barely a teenager. Let's say that. Let's say 13 to be fair. But she remembers the story just fine. But I didn't want to make her the validator because I'm the one with all the experience. So I made her validate it for me. So that's what happened to me, man. And I still can't wrap my head around this cloaking theory and this dogman theory. I can't grab it. I'm trying. Oh, what's going on? Oh, well, that's right. This just in, Jim. We have sounds that just came in. You guys want to get right into these? So you don't have to listen to my voice anymore? You excited?
Yeah.
Let's see, am I at 5?
Can I recharge?
Yeah, go recharge. Yeah, you want to? Yeah. We'll wait for you, brother. Whatever you got to do. It's funny whenever I come on and I do my show. It's like, you know, I could sit upstairs for 2 hours on my phone or something, and it would feel like forever. Or I go out and I shovel or something. It goes forever. This show, I'm like, oh damn, it's 8:18 already. You know, I'm having fun, right? Let's put this up.
I know.
What is dog? Oh wait. Well, let me see what that says. Oh, I can't see that because that thing's over the top. Let me just.
I would love that too, Barbara.
It's been a huge dream of mine to find a way to do some town halls with the sole purpose of finding and mapping witness encounters. Absolutely. I would absolutely love to do that. And I encourage anybody with any kind of witness experience, anything at all, reach out to us. I'll grab the Burks and Wojo and Matt, and we'll run right out there and see what you got going on, man. We're not scared. So yeah, absolutely. If you have anything like that, I think that's a great idea, Barbara. And Paul wants to know what a dogman is. The best thing I could say to you, Mr. Ricks,
YouTube it.
Look it up, YouTube it, and yeah, it's almost hard. It's almost hard for me to explain it. It's like
Linda
so mind blowing.
Is the person.
But it is another form of a a cryptid. I like.
Well,
mine
it started
was-
in Michigan, right? Is it?
Well, Linda Godfrey,
Michigan?
was in Michigan, yeah.
Was it Michigan or was it Wisconsin? Wisconsin,
No.
I think.
Michigan, Wisconsin. There's reports of Dogman in Michigan, but yeah, Bray Road, which is Wisconsin.
Oh,
Yeah.
correct.
And
I
so there
remember
were
that
sightings
story.
there. She worked in a small town newspaper, and people started to send in sighting reports in the newspaper. And she actually went in there, I think, to talk to the animal control guy about this. And he actually had a folder that had the name werewolf on it. And he gave her the folder so she could do research. And there were tons of people that were seeing something on this Bray Road. And now there's been sightings all over the country.
The Beast of Bray
Taylor,
Road, right?
Mississippi is a hot spot. There's a hot spot in New York, just
Yeah.
not far
Land
from
between
Whitehall.
the lakes. Look up that
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
That was-
Look up
That
the land
case
between
where-
the lakes.
yeah. That one, 3 people dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Land between the lakes.
Don't-
That's
don't-
something
don't
else.
look
So
that one
what
up.
it
Don't
is,
look that one up.
supposedly, is a walking canid.
Awesome.
Yeah, you might not be able to find a whole lot, but
Hey, Patty,
what
I'm
is it?
sorry.
The
I'm
Beast
sorry to
of
interrupt.
Seven Shoots is the photo to look up, right? Is that the?
Patty knows a lot about this stuff. Wally, did you know this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What, Wally? You
He
guys,
wants to be attacked by
you've
a
been
dog.
keeping this in. You've been keeping this in. You have not shared this
What?
with the thou Banter King. You have not shared this with me, Patty. I didn't know you knew all this. So I gotta have a whole Dogman segment on,
about
and
the
Patty's
Dogman
gonna be
stuff?
the expert on it.
Oh yeah.
Patty, do you have timestamps for these sounds in case I need them? Right? Are they
That's
right
the
there?
expert. I just love my monsters.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. Do you have the timestamps on these sounds if I need them?
Oh no.
No. I didn't write. I should have. Anyways, we're gonna get rolling with these right now. Actually, we got a lot to go over. That's all right. Don't worry about it. We're fine. I got to kind of in
These
sequence.
wood knocks were actually, because I remember. Okay.
You ready? 10. I think it's 10 and 11. Oh. Hang on. Let me go over that. That's pretty loud. Right, so those are the first ones there. Let me see. Where's oh.
Yeah, these are best with earbuds.
Well, I told everybody earlier on my show. I did a live and I told everybody to make sure they brought their earbuds tonight. Hey,
Well,
buddy,
there
are you
was some.
controlling which is next or am I?
Good.
I don't see that I can.
You should be able to do it. I can do
really?
it, but with the
No,
discussion.
I don't mind doing it. Oh, is it all one thing? Oh, that's right. We did it like it's a one long running thing, correct? Like we did last time. Gotcha. All right, I got it now.
Like a slideshow.
Yeah, it's like a slideshow. Yeah. This one's was at 30. Everybody be patient. We're going to work through this. I'm going to make a jump. I'll go back here a little bit. Listen to the knocks and the breaks as you go through this. See how they're just flowing in. You see them? So you can hear all the noise. This is the noise that's going on in this area. Okay, hang on. All right, that's the one I want to go
Now,
over.
don't forget, too, it's like 8 o'clock on a Sunday night or Saturday night.
Yeah, it's
Yep,
dark out.
Yeah, I think some of
And
those
there's
we
nobody
talked
out
about.
there.
No, and that's it. It sounds like somebody's out there working. It's like it's crazy, right? So here I'm gonna play this through, and I'm gonna go right into that vocal, which I feel is a vocal. But right after the little vocal sound, you'll hear some tree breaks, and I want to talk about that for a minute. I go right back to it again. Now for me, as an investigator, right? I think I'm going to ask Matt's opinion on this in a moment. But for me as an investigator, and I brought this up to the Burkes when we had our meeting, we had a pre-show meeting a couple days ago. And for me as a paranormal investigator, it was vital to have two pieces of what's called evidence basically on one soundtrack. So if I have two things, it holds more validity than just one sound that you can kind of shrug off, right? For me, the first one sounds guttural, and then there's breaks that follow it up. So for me, those breaks kind of tell me something's there. How do you feel about that, Matt? I don't know how you feel about hearing that.
It's definitely something that's making an utterance.
Like
it's very similar to, for me, if you played this for me, not in a Bigfoot context, I would hear it as something doing something as an EVP would be.
Right.
It's like, okay, there's definitely something there. Definitely something trying to say something. I can't recognize it. It would be a class C or B type of EVP. It's definitely a voice or something making a vocalization. I can't get any definitive words. It's not like get out, like you get in some of these EVPs where it's very clear what they're saying, but you definitely recorded something. It is not just recording noise. Is definitely something there made that sound.
And how do you feel about the breaks after? Does that bring it up a little bit for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's breaks. Like I said, thank you for having context for this for me, because for me, if this would be an EVP and then I'm hearing a footstep,
right?
If I was thinking a haunting,
right?
But it still could be a footstep. You just stepped on a branch,
right?
Right.
It's funny too, because it's the same thing when you listen to these hours and hours of recordings. When you hear something like this, all of a sudden the hair on the back of your neck goes up. Like, you just know it stands out.
And you know where this was recorded. You're saying this is out in the middle of woods, out in the middle of nowhere. It's not where somebody's going to be out there walking around going, "Hey,"
right?
And to be honest, our guys
then we hear a female sigh.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. But we don't get a lot of vocalizations, do we, Wally? It's
no.
A lot of sticks. They don't
sticks
say
and
much.
Rocks and sounds like they're playing pool out there.
Yeah, but when they do vocalize, and we hear it every so often, before we had some mumbles, but it's very rare.
Are you further in though than you usually were? Because we're around that. We're not necessarily in the hot. The one in the hot we didn't get a lot on or nothing on really. But a lot of like around that area, correct? Isn't that like kind of what we just
pretty much the pipeline? Before? Yeah, that pipeline. That's a hotbed.
Yeah,
we were right on the pipeline, Rich. Right, maybe 30 yards behind the pipeline, the path
into the tree line. You mean?
In the tree line.
But have you had reporters in this
off that trail line that comes through?
Yeah. So have you had recorders in these spots before, though?
Big trail area.
Yes, this is one of our lucky areas.
Okay, we've had
good luck with these spots. So yeah.
So what I want to explain to everybody
a little bit.
Where the hut is, like I said, the only way to get out there is if the road is clear, and we had to use a 4-wheel drive. To get to where we are, you can't just go out there and drive in an electric RAV4 was a joke, but a minivan or anything else, And then once you park, you go further out where you can't drive. You have to walk.
Right.
And so it's not a place where people go.
People are just walking around. No.
No, and definitely not after dark. 100%, you'd have to be out of your freaking mind or hiding from the cops. And even then, you're still out of your freaking mind because you're going out there to hide from the cops. You always go to an ex-girlfriend's house, and I watch it all every week on Live PD. Yeah. Anyways, so it's way out there is my point. So to hear that guttural, to me, that's guttural. And I've heard a lot of EVPs, you know what I mean? But to me, that's guttural. That's a, you know
and
what I
it's
mean?
wet. You got to tromp through water. It's gross.
Yeah, it's not an easy area to go around to give further context. So when you hear that sound, and when you hear this, I'm sorry, when you hear that sound, and and then it's followed up by those breaks, to me, it just makes something. So let me go back just a little bit. Here we go. I love it. I love it together. I'm gonna let it keep rolling.
The answer.
Yeah. Multiple sounds. This one's spread out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd Wally go? All right. So leading up to what was just there in the end, I didn't mean to let it go. So I want everybody to get the picture here. So this is all throughout the day. This is certain different times of night, different times of the morning. It's a constant, like something's out there working. These are digital recorders, so it's like it doesn't pick things up if it's not there. So it does sound kind of like it's kind of just continuous, but there are gaps in between and time frames in between. For instance, some of those you see the number sequences. The number sequence would indicate that the time frame is a little further apart. So if you see a 40 and then a 51, there's 11 in between that wasn't really much there, but noise maybe, you know, nothing you could pick out and say. So you got to listen to the whole thing, the whole picture of it, and hear all that clicking and clacking and bang, a lot of knocks. It sounds like there's communications going on. And then I came up to this one. I'm going to back it up and then roll into it, okay? So 49, 2 big knocks.
Mm-hmm.
Here it goes. So on that, you can hear it leading up, the breaks and stuff. Those are getting a little bit closer to where now you're on slide 51, but it goes to 57 and 58. Hang on. So, Matt, did you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I came across them, and for me, you know, I made the determination that it sounds like there's a vocalization going on here. How do you feel about that?
Definitely low register, which means very low frequency, which is going to carry a long way. It sounded about as far off as the knocks did. So a low woo, you know, type of thing.
Yeah. So the first one, just so you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it is edited. The second one is the original, the raw version. Correct, Patty? So we have the 57, the vocal. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's 58. So yeah. So
yeah.
Right. Come on, Richard. So let's listen to it in sequence kind of again. That's 53. Notice the gap. I thought I just heard something underneath it. Did you?
Play it again.
But that's a problem, man. I'm not good at it. No, I'm just kidding.
I think that's why I gave you the longer clip, because I
Yeah.
almost thought I felt footsteps, like foot stomps.
All right, hang on.
You know what I mean? There's movement.
There's something underneath it. We got to clean this up real good. That sounds like more than one. I swear it does.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it in this.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Question. Is this in a valley area? Could it be an echo? Are you in mountain?
It's like there's some ravines, but not really. They're kind of on top of a hill, actually.
Slight ravines, but not.
Top of the hill could echo because if you look overlooking a valley, it's directed towards the valley, like the dip. Maybe not a valley, but you know what I mean, like a dip.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get an echo if you're at the top and yelling across the valley because it's going to slap off both sides. That's where the echo comes from.
So,
saying.
So yeah, no, seriously. So Matt, from again your experience, I'm drawing on you for some of this. To me, that sounds like something's vocalizing out there. And what time of night?
Yeah, something's definitely vocalizing.
And what time of night did we determine this was? This was like 8 o'clock at night on the New Year's Eve. Is this where the vocals were? Is that what we discussed earlier?
This was.
Do you remember what we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Did I write it down here?
Yeah, I think it was like 9, 10
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah, right. It's late at night, man. I mean, you're out. There's nobody out there. There's nobody.
Yeah, I think it was after like 9 o'clock at night.
And you put this in context with a location where we believe we found a hut, and now we brought someone else on that says it with more experience than us, and now we're getting these sounds. All I need now is to shake the dude's hand. You know what I mean? I'm there. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. Let's listen to this again. That one's good right there. Did you hear that one? That 59? I didn't hear it as clear as that. That is really, really impressive. That's big, dude.
Yeah. That's guttural.
Mm.
And it has an extra hook to it. Watch. See how it goes back up? Did you hear that? It goes, ooh. Well, the other one's kind of ooh. And this one's like, ooh. Like it kind of climbs again. I don't know. That's exciting, man. I don't know. I mean,
that is exciting.
You know what? I think it really is. I think there's a lot of these apps and things like that where we can clean this up and it will actually pull apart the what's the word I'm looking for? The vocalization, but it'll.
What you want to do is separate the frequencies. There's a couple of good SoundForge, Acid, Audacity. These are all editing programs.
You got to use them.
Well, dude, I'm not just a scientist. My hobby is as being a sound engineer for bands.
No.
Will you clean these up for me?
Hey, Matt, if I share the Google Drive with you, you think you could clean some of these up in Audacity?
Yes. I already asked him that. I got to it. I asked him first. Patty.
This is a vocal one.
I could, but why don't you guys download it yourself? Because you're going to get more, right?
That's right, everybody. We're here with Banter with Pati B.
Yeah, download like Audacity and that. Load that up into your, and then, but still share me the file, please. But that way you can learn how this is going, and that way, when you get more, you can. I use these same audio files, programs doing EVP stuff. So those are the same. How I validate an EVP is something is like, okay, I'm picking up these frequencies, so this is definitely in here, and I can also tell if it's generally more of an EVP, if the sounds register in these frequencies at these particular, it's like, this isn't just an audio glitch from your recorder. This is definitely something being picked up. Yeah. And with these programs, you can also identify the frequency at which these sounds are coming at. So you can tell. So, okay, this is mainly a low end frequency, from the low 80 hertz, and as opposed up, to 1200 hertz, where it's a high pitch, cymbals would be up in the high end, versus the lower frequencies. All right, Matt, we'll shut up now.
No, I listen.
Hey,
this
keep
is
playing.
why...
I want these guys to hear the slams. The big slams.
Right.
Did you save that file?
Right. No, I got I don't know. So what I did was to keep it going with the after we heard the vocals, I want you to see the intelligence in some of these movements. So that's why I kind of played them after, you know what I mean? Anybody on the side, if you get any kind of ideas of what you just heard and how you feel about it, absolutely please chime in, and be proactive and interactive and ask the questions. If you got questions about what you just heard, we want to hear from you. Let's put it that way.
Recommendations. If you know even a better file and stuff that we can use, we'd be happy to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you got.
As long as it's free.
Yeah, we like free.
Someone mentioned Cakewalk.
Yeah, Cakewalk. That's my buddy Ronnie. Yep. Yeah, Cakewalk is free. So that's going to be something maybe we can check out. Is that a little bit more user-friendly, Ron, or do I have to be smart like you and Matt? Ronnie's another genius.
It's a bit techie.
It is a bit techie. Okay.
But it's usable. Put it this way.
Usable.
How do I say this without being offensive? You could use it, Ronnie. Richie, sorry. You could use it.
Yeah. F you, Matt. No. Thank you. Let's see if Ronnie, do you think I could use Cakewalk, bro? You know me too for 138 years now. And I'm going to press play so everybody listen, but Ronnie's going to give his answer if he thinks that I can use Cakewalk. Back to you, Bob. Big knock. I want to go back there and see if I can get a little more of that. Here we go. I don't know what that sound is. That's weird.
Is there a highway nearby?
No.
No, that's what's mind blowing. I don't know what that is. Hang on.
Yeah.
No, not you wouldn't hear it. There's no way. No way you would hear it. That was weird, wasn't it?
Not like that. There's back roads that are not busy on a Sunday night like this, And these slams sound like they're right on the recorder.
Or very nearby it.
Very nearby it. This is.
But what are they doing?
This is overnight, right? This one?
Yeah.
The 60s, aren't they overnight? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. This might be like midnight.
Yeah.
It goes all night.
Airplane.
Was that the breath?
There's a screech in there.
No, there was the breath one, I think. Hang on. Hey, listen for the breath. Right there.
Yeah,
Did you hear it?
That's the female
That's
breath.
the breath. Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
All right, hang on.
You
I
hear
have
that?
it
It's
written
like-
down. I have it written down. I have it written down for the time so everybody could see it. 2 seconds, it says. But
You gotta
this
listen
might not.
close.
It could be different now. Slams it. All right, let's go back there. Once I get it, I'll just. Right there.
Did you hear that, Matt?
Here it comes.
Right in the
Yeah.
beginning. It's like someone intakes their breath. Like,
Yeah.
It's-
Here it comes. Listen.
Oh, and it's not a steady either. It's a.
It's freaking nuts.
and you know what's weird about the rock clacks is they start later at night, almost early morning. These rock clacks. Yeah.
Breakfast? Well, that's the other thing too, is when we go
And they
back on the 20th.
on for hours.
So when we go back on the 20th, what we want to do is we're
No,
going to
they
get a
go
little
on
more
for
scientific, a
hours.
little more. Oh, hours. Yeah. We're going to get into a little more research, a little more scientific. There's a rock wall, probably from the Native Americans, that's out there. Very old rock wall. Well, I'm wondering if they're using that to, break things up, stuff like that. So we're going to kind of investigate that wall a little further. I want to look around real close for if there's any hair or anything like that in these huts. I looked briefly last time. This time I'm going to set it apart, like evidence bags, things like that. If I find any of that poop, I'll figure it out. But I will put it in a bag.
Yeah.
I'll let Patty bring it back.
Patty's
While I
carrying
throw
it.
up. Yeah, while I throw up. So here we go. Back to the sounds. Here we go. Listen to these rocks. This is all one, by the way.
You hear the echo.
It's crazy. This is all one strip, like it's doing something. To me, that's intelligent. That you don't have. There's not a bear out there doing this. There's not a deer out there doing it. It's not a fish or cat.
Question: What time of year was this recorded?
We did this last week.
Yeah, New Year's Eve and
Time of year. It was just last week. We got these. So it was
All
right
right.
there.
So we know for a fact that can't be deer. The only thing close to hearing clacking like that in the middle of the night would be during breeding season when the bucks are banging their antlers together. But doe season and all that is all done now, so the deer have all lost their antler.
Oh, that's
It's all the male.
See, this is why we have you here. See what I'm saying, guys? This is why. I mean,
Sorry,
us three are very
but
us three are very smart, but us three are very smart. But
They're thinking like we are.
I brought him. I brought him for a reason.
Yeah,
That's
we need
some
this.
top. Hey, that's some top notch shit right there. Thank you, Matt. And all the bears are hibernating, and they don't pick up things anyways,
About your secret weapon.
Yeah.
right? This is crazy.
So that's something that has to be repeatedly clacking things.
It's
And
intellect.
like I said, it's not deer because they don't have their antlers anymore. Bear are going to be seeping for a little bit, and that's rock. That's rock against rock.
It
That's
sounds
rock
like
against
that.
rock.
You're not on a mountain, so it's not like rocks rolling down the mountain, right?
And it's not like a raccoon.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think a raccoon is doing that.
no.
Raccoons have been used to use rocks to crack things open, but not for half an hour.
No.
That's
That's
the most unintelligent thing I heard him say all night.
Do I got to bring this shit up again?
No, I love it, bro. I love it. Good stuff. Listen, all right, I'm going to continue on here so we can get this in and discuss it before the end of our evening. It's still going. This is all one. This it's crazy.
Question: are there lots of oak trees, walnuts, or any tree that has nuts in the area? And I'm not talking like pine nuts.
No, I would say yeah. I mean, I don't
because I don't know where this is, so I don't know.
Maybe a few acorns, but not
I think
really
there's acorn. I think there's acorn trees. That's what I was.
A lot of pine cones.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no like walnut. There's no chestnut out there or wherever. Because I'm wondering, somebody cracking open nuts to get into nuts.
You'd see damage too. That's like we want to when we go out there. I mean, the snow does make a difference too, but you want to see damage. You know, there's got to be damage somewhere.
Well, that's why I want to investigate that stone wall closer. Remember, I said that I want to go up and down that stone wall real close and see if there's any
on the stone wall.
Right, it would have to be because that's the rockiest place there is that you could set up for half an hour and bang away on a rock. You know what I mean? And to me, obviously, it means something. You know, one other thing is when we were out there, we found right by the huts. Wojo, our other investigator friend, he found a deer shed, antlers, and they were like sharpened almost at the ends. And I don't know if it looked like teeth because rodents and stuff will sharpen their teeth on that type of stuff or whatever smaller type animals.
Porcupines and stuff like possums will eat them for the calcium in it. So they've been known to do that. But there's one other thing that I know primates, we are included in this, use rocks to crack something open with. And it's not just nuts.
You're right.
Bone, looking for marrow.
Marrow. That's right. Yeah.
Fucking Matt is fucking on point tonight, dude.
No, I'm just trying to find why would there be sounds for what I'm hearing.
I like listen, I love the fact that this is you're putting this much thought into this because that tells me we're on to something. That tells me we're in the right place. And that tells me that we're getting close to something. And I don't care what anybody says anywhere else in the whole world. I do not give a shit. This is my primary focus right now. And it's a big deal. And it's a big deal for all of us, whether you believe it or not. It's a big deal for all of us as humans. This is a big deal. This isn't little stuff. I'm not out in the vast Pacific looking, I see Ness and there's this vast Pacific with 30-foot tall friggin' bushes around. You ain't got much chance of finding it, man. You ain't got much chance. I tell everybody, you go to my property and the land bottlenecks right up to my house, man. You want to find something? You want to go to one of those places. I don't want to hang out by Huckleberry. Sorry. No offense, anybody. You keep doing your thing, though. You keep doing your thing.
You're talking about like where that property I have out there in Rochester, because as you know, that's right where that came out to is a point with the
bottlenecks.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And this doesn't necessarily bottleneck, but I'm just saying it's not a huge, vast, it's not the great, Pacific, So anyways, I'm excited, man. I'm even more excited because you're excited. And I think it's a big deal for all. I do. I really believe that. Let's listen to the end of this.
You got something. You definitely got something.
Good to hear that. Yeah, we got some more going on here. Where are we at? 80? Yeah, we're going to get a few left here. And move this up. Still going. Bone marrow is a great theory. It's a great theory.
Well, the deer are moving. It's on a game trail. I assume this is recording is got where you've got the your picture there, right? So that's all in the same area. It would make sense.
Oh, it's right in the same area. Yeah,
you're in somebody's hunting camp, and if they're mashing things up, that would make sense.
There we go. I moved it up just a little bit. Listen to this. Did I miss? Hang on, I'm sorry. 80s clacks. Oh, it goes to 84 right after. Okay. This is overnight too.
It almost sounds like a throw, isn't it?
This is towards like 4 a.m. or something. Now what I wrote down. It does sound like a throw because it bounces, right?
Yeah.
What was that? Ooh.
Yeah.
There's another one. that friggin' feed?
I don't know. It sounds like a car, isn't it?
It's nuts.
I think that's the wind.
It's got to be wind, yeah.
Some of that is wind, yes.
Listen to this dude. This dude's just out there walking around doing shit.
All right, who brought the kick drum out there?
Right? Boom,
And think
boom,
about it, these are in a Ziploc bag with no microphone.
Yeah, these are Ziploc bags. They're like this.
So it's
Regular
going-
recorders like this. Probably doesn't even actually. Mine has microphones up top. You have ones like that with the microphones at the show, or are they built into the side? Burke's.
She has one that has the microphone show on the top, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
but yeah,
I
but
think they're on the side.
it's not nothing up again. I mean, this thing, whatever's out there is just having a great old time for itself. You know what I mean? Like, just it's working. I believe it's working and survive, just like anybody else would be if you were a survivalist, right? You're out there at certain times of day. You want to take advantage of it.
Stealing bark or getting bugs from something, or
bone marrow, like he just said. And that one
Right.
did sound like he threw something. I don't know what the hell he could. Hell, he could have thrown a freaking raccoon at a tree. I don't friggin' know.
What are they doing? Just putting rocks together?
I don't, that banging is weird. It's like almost hitting something soft, right? Here, let me play. Like that, soft, like it's. Oh, listen to that.
Double kick. It's like. Duh, duh.
Yeah.
slapping each other in the face.
Well, I almost wondered if they were chest slaps. What do you think, Matt? Does it
slaps?
sound like something on leather? That's
Yeah.
what I hear.
That's why I'm thinking drumming, a drummer.
Well, let's
Okay.
try it.
What they're doing is,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is he getting ready to get it on?
so it's like,
That's yeah. It's freaking nuts, dude.
He's slapping her ass. That's what he's doing.
Holy shit, Wally. Holy shit. Wally just came out of nowhere. He's like, yeah, Matt's got his thing. I got mine. Oh, my heart. I can't take it.
That's all you're gonna think about now.
Listen, man. Listen.
He's overtired.
No, I bet he is. He's a hard worker. So, so overall, from start to finish, Matt, where's your head at?
you got some sort of activity going on out there. Have you found any prints or any other, track ways or anything?
Skirmishes in the
Impressions.
compost.
It's tough because it's all
Yeah.
leaves out there, but we've seen
Yeah.
some compelling impressions, right, Wally?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not really
Yes.
prints, but
It's not muddy to where it's wet to where you wouldn't see a real impression. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not real muddy.
It's compost mostly, especially where the hut is, where the wall is. And
I'm
I
trying to
look
think
like
of a way, like Richie
Yeah.
said, bring out some sand and see if they walk through the sand. And...
Well, you don't have to bring out the sand. All you have to bring is a shovel.
Oh,
Off the known pathway, walk about 15 feet. Start digging down. You'll after the leaves and
yeah.
You'll find
humorous material, you'll find sand. Then
Yep.
just dig a sand pit and bring the sand over that way, rather than carrying it in with you.
yeah.
Because
that's a good idea.
I've done that before.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of work. Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
I did it at my house in Bridgewater, but it's my backyard.
I thought that was
Yeah.
a good idea, and then maybe we can, catch something.
Yeah,
Right.
and you don't want to put it in abundance in an area. I just want to say hi to my friend real
Yeah.
quick. Hey, Sam, how you doing?
But a half
Sam's-
mile, a mile.
check out
in,
Sam's,
that's just a mile and a half
Sam-
in that we walked.
Check out Sam's Pretty Paranormal. She got a real kick-ass YouTube page. I just want to throw that out there because I think she just showed up because she just said hi, and we're almost
Hey,
done.
Sam.
So I did that. So I didn't want to put like vast mounds or anything like that. So I kind of put it in traces of areas to kind of make it look a little more natural. You know what I mean? Because I believe obviously we have something intelligent here. You know what I mean? So to see something like that, I like so what I did was I did like a little like snake trail so I could maybe grab one on the way by or even a hill or some kind of dermal type ridges or maybe get the mid what is it called? The mid whatever.
Mid tarsal break.
Thank
Mid-tar-
you.
You're welcome.
Woo!
But
Must be
if
near 9
if
o'clock.
it's easier, a spot that choke points, narrows, for a stretch of about 10 feet long by about 4 feet wide. And what you do is you, on either side of this choke point, you put barriers like branches, and so it forces the thing to go, okay, here's in my in-between, I'm walking through this.
You hearing this, Wally?
Pretty much what they do with the deer.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Same thing.
Yeah.
Because the deer are going to follow that, and they're going to follow the deer.
Yeah, so that's what we did when we came up to this place. I started noticing this tree on its side. I always see a lot of arrows on my property, right? And they're always like, I draw the arrow out when I take a picture. You can almost see them funneling, and it was the first time I'd ever seen it like this, where the pieces of wood were going like this, like funneling something. But there was deer scat right along the freaking log, all the way down, right, yep. Guys? And I was like, look at this. I go, he's funneling the deer, like wherever he wants them to go. Maybe there's somebody waiting on the other side. You know what I mean? So yeah, ambush setup. Yeah, absolutely. So, let's see what Barbara says. Barbara says, bring some cornstarch, put it on the ground, and in the gifting jars. And on the jars, not in. Yeah, that's a better point. Yes, you want me to gift Bigfoot some cornstarch? Here you go, bro. That's not a bad. Listen, I'm open for anything. This is what I'm talking about on the side. Be interactive. Throw out those ideas. You know what I mean? I'll try them out. I'll come back and tell you how they went. You know what I mean? So, there's always a chance too for, like I said, you guys jumping on. Bobby Lee, real quick, if you're still there. Do you want to just tell them before we wrap it up how you set up the guests to come on? We have our own fan page that they can join, that type of scenario. You'll probably explain it better than me.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we do have a Facebook page. I'll put it in. I will put it on the comment section, and then I'll add it to our description later. But we do have a Facebook page. We have Banter with Richie B, but then we have I forgot what we called it.
The fan page.
It might be fan page, I think it was.
Yep.
I'm looking it up now, of course. Oh, Alphabet Soup Fan Group is what it's called.
Gotcha.
Banter with Richie B podcast, Alphabet Soup Fan Group, and if you go up and search it, you should be able to request to come on. And so if we do another Alphabet Soup, or if you just want to come on and share your experience, go on there. You can also message us. We'll get a hold of you, and we'll get your information and get you set up in StreamYard to get live on the air.
And on that Facebook page, it's easier because the messenger's right there, and we can just send them an invite through there. Is that what you're saying? Or we could send a link right to the page.
So we need them to be a part of the Facebook group so that we can send the StreamYard link in somewhat of a secured area.
Copy that.
If that's what you're looking. But
right, and rather than going through everybody individually each time, because we don't know when you might want to be on or whatever the case might be. But I wanted to make it during a show where I can say, hey, go over to this page, and so just make sure you join that page. So if I see you on here, and then I know you're part of that page, all we have to do is send you a link to the messenger, and you can jump right on with Matt. You can jump right on with the Burks and myself, and hopefully Wojo one time when he gets back, and just be part of the conversation for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, it's a work in progress. So if it's not the right way in a couple weeks, we probably changed it.
Yeah, listen, we're trying new things. I want to think out of the box. I want it to be an interactive type show. I want it to be a full participation type show. I don't want to. For me, I'm a visual learner, so I get that. So I tried to put it in my mind. I wanted to put it into a visual state for you. So to have more of a hands-on, type where you're part of it, maybe some of these things will stick better. Maybe you'll get a bigger passion for what I have a passion for what these guys have a passion for. You know what I mean? It's a great thing, man. It's exciting. This stuff is exciting. I just got all ramped up like a 12-year-old hearing Matt talk about it. You know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, like, let's go. Oh, wait, it's dark. I'm scared. I'm not going. And you can't make me. You know what I mean? So anything else to add, anybody? I'm going to probably wrap it up for the evening. And this has been very, very educational for me. Seriously.
Oh, we can make you.
Yeah. Do you guys? I mean, I feel really good about this. How about you, Wally and Patty?
No, I feel good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the size and I like the vocals.
Yeah, and hearing them in that way was different. It was.
Thanks.
I liked it. They
and
were
thanks,
cleaned
Matt.
up.
This was great. getting
Matt,
your
thank
input.
Yeah, I
you.
appreciate it, Matt.
Thank
That
you,
was
bro.
awesome. Appreciate your input.
Not a problem. Glad I could help. I mean, I didn't do much other than throw out ideas.
Well, listen, and that's, you know, like you said, there is some scientific to this. There is some things scientific. You know, I might have misquoted in that sense, but just to hear somebody with different experience, more experience, you know, come back and have that type of reaction and have that type of knowledge and bring up those types of points is huge for this field in general. Because right here, you have 4 different researchers with 4 different minds thinking 4 different things. And when you put it together, you have something here. And that's the beauty of this. That's what this is all about. This is what I've been trying to tell people. Get out there with your family. You know, go out. Always dog man.
Dog man.
Patty's just going to randomly yell dog man on the way out. How's that? So listen, check me out on YouTube, man. Like and subscribe. Tell your mothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, roommate to get on YouTube. Everybody in between, get on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Let's get the subscriptions up, man. Let's get those views up. Let's carry this on to the next level. I need you to get me there. I need you to get all of us there. I want to bring everybody with me. I want to be able to do this on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So let's all just come together, man. I'll help you. You help me, you know? TikTok, Banter Richie B on TikTok, Banter Richie B on Instagram, Banter Richie B on Facebook. There's banter everywhere. Soon there's going to be banter with Patti B. By the way, she just took over a portion of my show. But seriously, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody on the side for putting in. And yes, Sam, you do need to get your cousin on here. So look at this real quick. I need to get my cousin on here. I haven't gotten to speaking to him, but he witnessed 2 of them. Two of them. We've already discussed this. Yes, Sam, we will discuss this further. Have your people call my people. So, and definitely, we're going to clean some of these up, I think, and maybe bring them back at a later date because I really do want to pull those frequencies apart. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank Matt and Wally and Patty for being on Banter with Richie B tonight. I want everybody to get out there, check out the Get Haunted Network. Look up Haunts for the Homeless. That's another great charity you can be part of. You can help out. Again, I was homeless at 14 years old, man. It's near and dear to my heart. A lot of my older friends that have been around a long time know the whole story, know me from the beginning to where I am now. Follow your passions, man. Follow your passions. You know what I mean? You can rise up no matter what situation you're in. You can get out of it. All right. If it's somewhere you don't want to be. So let's tune in next week. I'll have an update on the show probably within the next 24 hours because I'm going to plan out like 3 weeks at a time now, but I'm afraid to because I'll end up changing my mind because I have so much ADHD. Anyways, so stay tuned for the follow-up after the 20th when we go back out, weather permitting, and we will catch everybody next week, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. Thank you very much for joining me.